Assalamu alaikum everyone. Okay, so my name is Saad Hamid. I'm the curator for TEDx Magla that is now known as TEDx Islamabad. And we're now kicking off this session. Um, I want to first of all tell you a little bit about TED and myself. TED is a conference, it stands for Technology, Entertainment and Design. And I discovered TED almost 2 years ago on a website called YouTube. I know you're familiar with it. It's not found in abundance in Pakistan these days. But yes, it is a website where you can discover talks, you can discover videos, or different things. So I discovered TED almost 2 years ago. It was about different ideas, different new amazing ideas. On one place, you could see Google introducing a self-driving car. On the other place, you could see dances that you have never seen before. And it was amazing. Why? Because Bill Gates gave a TED talk too, so it's definitely legit. But that's not the whole point of TED. There's another program, it's called TEDx, and TEDx is an independently organized TED event. The first TEDx event that I attended in Pakistan, it was called TEDx Lahore. So a young, innocent, passionate boy from Islamabad goes and attends this event that is called as TEDx Lahore. He does not know much about it. And this young, innocent, passionate boy, which is obviously me, discovers a lot of great new ideas in this event. And I take it as a responsibility that when I come back to Islamabad, I have to organize such an event for my city. And that's when we had the first TEDx in Islamabad. And it was at the very same venue that you're sitting at right now. It was at Kuch Khaas. And we had amazing speakers. And as far as I remember, it was the first amazing TEDx event for Islamabad. Because at that time, there was no other TEDx event. This is the TEDx event, and it's all about the cities. Because cities are simply beautiful. Cities actually tell you how to live and how to make a difference in your life. And that's why we love Islamabad. And talking about different components of City 2.0, a city is not, it's about education, it's about housing, it's about public spaces, it's about transportation, it's about food, it's about play, it's about art, and it's about health and safety. So you see there are different components which directly or indirectly make a City 2.0. And that's exactly what our speakers will be doing here. They'll be telling you about their projects which have or which will transform their cities into City 2.0.
So if you talk about your heritage, there would be two dimensions to heritage. One is what we call the built heritage or the tangible heritage. It includes things like what Kamran Lashari did for the city, all the built structures, the architectural achievements of a civilization or a city. And these are things that are included in the UNESCO World Heritage Site list. We've got a few heritage sites in Pakistan, like the Rohtas Fort or the cities of Mohenjo-daro, Takht Bai and Taxila. There are in fact 6 World Heritage Sites in Pakistan, and there are another 18 which are on the pending list of World Heritage Sites. But there's another important dimension of heritage that we almost always ignore, especially in Pakistan, which is the intangible heritage. Now the intangible heritage is the set of knowledge, the philosophies which a civilization passes on to the next generations. These could include things that we often take for granted, like our language, our celebrations, our festivals, our expressions of happiness and joy, our expressions where we entertain each other through music, dance, or storytelling, folklore. The intangible component is usually what all a society has really achieved in the past. And this component in Pakistan, when I say is ignored, is the biggest element is the proof that we have is that we don't have a single entry of intangible heritage of Pakistan in the UNESCO list of masterpieces of intangible heritage of the world, which is quite sad. We've experimented with all sorts of music. We've had folk singers coming from the desert regions of Thar, and the music is obviously in Marwari language, so we didn't even know that the kids would understand or appreciate the music, but again we were completely wrong. We had folk dancers from the tribal regions These are the Khatak dancers from the Landi Kotal, the border of Pakistan and Afghanistan, and the responses were amazing. The kids were interacting, and they were really serious to learn these forms of arts as well, which is another project that we're working on to start the first school of traditional arts in Pakistan. So they engage with the musicians and they get involved and they try to learn through the workshops that we have as part of this project. We also have usually a music curriculum which we develop around the events that we do. And the focus is not just to have a musical concert in the school where the kids come and enjoy, it's to develop a curriculum around that activity so that the kids can remember and retain the information. So we have storybooks where we have heroes, our folklore and our folk heroes as the main characters for the books. For really small children, we also have developed coloring books in which they do not have to fill colors into the traditional Mickey Mouse characters, but they can fill colors into their instruments and their folk heroes. We also have a program where we are giving them basic musical awareness, which even I don't have, and it's just to differentiate between the different flavors of music in Pakistan, because each is very distinct and unique. Each has a different time signature, or what we call the beats on the percussion instruments. We've conducted successful workshops as well. The recent one was called Sab Rang Hamare, and in that the kids were introduced to various forms of classical dance, folk dances, classical music, various forms, and folk music, and we were happy that they were eventually identifying and passing all the quizzes that we had set for them by just listening to time signatures and identifying which area of Pakistan the tunes are from, which I think most of us are not able to do because we don't even have that basic knowledge set that is prerequisite for understanding your country. We want to reach out to the global TED community and ask them to assist us in introducing our cultural heritage to the youth of Pakistan so that it's not too late and they don't lose a part of their heritage during the process. The request is to support the Schools of Harmony program and our music traditional arts school, where the kids can eventually graduate as not only playing artists or singers or dancers, but just people who are more aware of their surrounding and the heritage that they've received from their ancestors. So that's all for my talk. Thank you.
Thali was a trust that has been registered since 2009. Informally, we've been working on it since 2007. We tried actually getting it registered as an NGO, but our CEO had to make 37 trips to the SECP, the Security and Exchange Commission of Pakistan, to get it registered. And unfortunately, it still hasn't been possible. So that's one of the things that we'll be talking about the bureaucracy in the city. That goes on, that prevents people who are willing to do something good, but there are many hurdles that come along the way. The main reason, Thali is basically, it was created to feed the less fortunate through meals the more fortunate take for granted. And that has become our motto. It is feeding the less fortunate through meals the more fortunate take for granted. We're trying to promote social responsibility in both the food service provider industry and the patrons themselves. The thing about Thali is it's a very simple concept. We collect fresh excess food from service providers, from hotels, restaurants, caterers, wedding halls, parties, corporate events. Anybody who feels that they might have excess foods, even if at home you're having a dinner party, you have some excess food left over, give us a call. We'll send somebody over, we'll come ourselves, and we'll repack it and distribute it to anybody who's needy. So we're in the business of food rescue, essentially. Everything that we collect is of high quality. We're not redistributing anything that is low quality or that might be going bad. It's all food which is, all of us can eat the same day within 24 hours. If we can't distribute it immediately, we'll be either freezing it and reheating it the next day and then distributing it amongst people who are definitely needy in our area. And that's the biggest thing, that we all need to realize that how many people are actually needy in Pakistan, in Islamabad, in Rawalpindi, in all the cities across Pakistan. These are some of the projects that we do. This is a bunch of bags that were donated by Ufone, actually. They're one of the corporations in the area that are actually doing corporate social responsibility on the side. They don't even advertise this, I believe. That's something that we did with the tents during flood relief. We also do events with kids making fresh food for young kids who are in free schools, basically. The thali concept. Again, what thali basically is just we're taking leftover food and we're repackaging it and giving it to the first needy person we see. So we came up with the thali concept, which means that if you're going out to eat to a restaurant or buffet, whatever, and you have food left over, which most likely you usually do, just thali it. And thali it means just ask your waiter to bring a little bag or a little meal pack and just pack it up, and on your way back home, give it to somebody who you might feel might be needing it. And I'm sure you'll see a lot of people like that on the way home. That's the unfortunate part in Pakistan, in Islamabad and Rawalpindi, is that you will see somebody who could actually use a free meal. These people might not be begging. They might actually be selling something on the street. They might be begging even, but that's what they'll probably be begging on the, with the reason that we need to get something to eat.